Testing, one, two, three, testing. Happy Monday, everyone. We are going to talk tonight about the start of the French Revolution, like what were the precursors to why people were upset in France during the 1700s. Now, if you think about the Enlightenment and all these theories that are being spread around about government and about equality, they spread pretty quickly and they spread pretty far. If you think about the first country to implement these ideas, it was actually the United States in the American Revolution. And very quickly after, I mean, the whole entire world is watching what is going on with the most powerful country right now, England, and these 13 colonies. So, and the whole world is kind of watching to see what happens. So they're the first to try and implement these ideas, and France is the second. So here we have the American Revolution, where the idea is that, or was, that all men were created equal. So the colonists in the Americas, they rebel against English rule for unfair taxes and representation. And the Americans, these new founded Americans, they form a new government based on Enlightenment ideas, based on the thinkers. Their government is a democracy, and it's all about all men being created equal, all men having the right to life, liberty, and property, all men willing and able to be, I should say willing, or able. All men are free, except for during this time period slavery, but they are a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And this is the first time that a government has really been set up with this idea. And because of that, it's known to other excuse me, other countries as the Great Experiment. They're sitting back and they're watching. And most monarchs are a little nervous, but they also are very confident that this kind of government is just going to fail miserably. So we're all watching to see this development, this brand new thing that is occurring in the Americas, this brand new idea, and we want to see what happens. So because of the successful, or for the most part, the successful implementation of this government, the people of other countries are looking to it or at it as kind of an example, as an inspiration to what could actually occur in their own country. That's what takes us to France. France is set up, if you think about their absolute monarchy and you think about the peasants and the nobility, it's very structured. It's a very structured social status. And at the top of this, during that time period in the late 1700s, like 1780s, you've got Louis the 16th, who is the grandson of Louis the 14th. He is king now, and he is living at the Palace of Versailles. He believes in divine right, and he is the one that is ruling over this very divided, structured country. So France, here we go. France during the 1780s, they're divided up between three different groups. They're called estates. These three different estates is the first, second, and third. Okay, each estate was made up of certain groups of people. You were born into these groups, and you could not move from one social group to the next. And then you've got the king, the absolute king, the absolute monarchy, with Louis the 16th and his wife, his queen from Austria, Marie Antoinette. And they are the ones with complete power. So, to talk about these estates, the first estate, so the estate, you've got the monarchy at the top, and then the next estate, or you should say the first estate underneath the monarchy, is the Catholic clergy. Okay? So the Catholic Church has a ton of power during this time period still. The Catholic clergy is made up of 1% of the population, so it's a tiny percentage. They don't have to pay taxes. And members of the clergy occupied very high offices within the government. So you've got a complete combination of church and state, okay, of the government and the religion of France working together in the highest, most position that you could have within a country. Not only are they clergy, but they also have very high government positions. All right, and they also had this very strong alliance with Rome because of the Pope. So they are actually extremely powerful, especially because within France, the majority of people are Catholic. So you've got that whole tie about the fear of God, you could say, the whole connection with the Pope, that you don't want to upset the Pope because he could most definitely excommunicate you for any matter that he saw fit. So that's the first estate within the three estates, okay, is the Catholic clergy and how powerful they were and how they were only just a very, very small percentage, 1% of the population. Then you have the second estate, you have the nobles. They included any person of royal lineage, so, cousins, second cousins, third cousins, aunts, uncles, and they included any kind of family that was born into the nobility. You've got these very rich, very prestigious landed families that kind of gain a place within these ranks. They don't pay any taxes either. They also held very high government positions. You've got family members, and you've got the church within government, making all the government decisions. And they controlled about 20% of France's land, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you've got the monarchy who controls a massive amount, and then the other 20% are the nobility. The next estate we're going to talk about, they actually don't have any land. So the land within France is taken up by the monarchy, the nobility, and the monarch's relatives, whatever royal lineage they have. So that's the second estate. And then the third estate, believe it or not, is the rest of France. It's not just peasants. It's the middle class. So like doctors, lawyers, teachers, scholars. They are all considered part of the third estate. And then you've got the workers. So you've got artisans and traders, and then you've got the peasants. Okay, so this group of people consists of about 97% of the population. If you think about how small the other two percentages are and how much power they maintained and how much power they had as being just 3%, and then 97% with absolutely no power, with no land. Even the people who are educated and are doctors and have very good jobs and are very well respected, they are still lumped in with the workers, again, who have very good jobs, and with the peasants. Okay? So you've got this class division within France during this time period, which really kind of is the backbone for problems that are going to arise within France during this time. Okay? So for tomorrow, we're going to talk about the inequality among these estates. We're going to talk about a little bit more about the reasons why essentially revolution begins within France. Okay, what's going on within these three estates and the problems that are arising from them. Okay, so all of you, I hope you have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.